Hey everybody, this video is going to show you how to pack and deploy the 350-foot Minuteman hose line. The line is broken up into three sections. From the bottom up, we have the dump load, which is 100 feet, the backup shoulder load, which is 150 feet, and the nozzle load, which is 100 feet. Here we're packing the dump load. This packs just like the orange Minuteman. The first fold is even with the edge of the bed, then a loop, then even with the bed until the second loop just after the first coupling. So for this application, our loops end up on folds 2 and 4. The rest of the 100 foot is loaded even with the bed, and the male coupling goes to the front of the bed and is tucked up and over the divider, just as it is with the orange line. Now we start on the backup shoulder load. Starting with the male end of the hose, make a 12-foot Sharpie mark on the hose measured from the male coupling. This will be the tail that sets the distance between the nozzle firefighter and the backup or officer. Bring the 12-foot mark up to the hose bed, and start your folds at the 12-foot mark. Continue to pack the remaining 150 feet of hose even with the bed with no added loops. The female coupling that you're left with will connect with the male section of the dump load. Tidy up any loose hose towards the front of the bed after you've made your connection. Finish off this portion by taking the 12-foot tail and wrapping it over the folds and placing the male coupling in the front of the hose bed with the coupling tucked up and over the divider. Now we load the nozzle section. This is no different than our 200 and 250 foot lines. Place the nozzle in the bed with the bail to the side and stack the 100 feet of hose on top of the nozzle. Take care to make all folds neat and orderly to assist with pulling the line. Connect the female coupling at the top of the nozzle load to the male coupling left over from the backup shoulder load. And just like that, you've successfully packed our 350 foot Minuteman. Now let's move on to deployment. Our staffing will dictate who pulls the backup shoulder load. In this scenario, we're staffed with 3. The officer will handle the backup shoulder load and the dump load. If we're staffed with 4, the backup firefighter will handle the backup shoulder load and the dump load. If the driver is able, they can take care of the dump load and easily make it back to the rig in time to charge the line. Starting with the nozzle firefighter, grab the nozzle and top fold, pinching them together as you place the nozzle load onto your shoulder. Step off the tailboard and take a few steps away from the bumper to bring the tail of the second shoulder load down to the ground, and pause here. The officer or backup firefighter will then grasp the tail and place the 150 foot of hose onto their shoulder. Once clear from the bed, turn to your open side and grab both loops of the dump load. Deploy the dump load, dropping the bottom fold first, then the middle fold once it is flaked out. It's important to keep the shoulder load tight on your shoulder until the full 100 feet of dump load is flaked out. Try to keep about 12 feet of spacing between you and the nozzle firefighter to avoid tripping on the hose. Once the dump load is tight, start letting the backup load flake off from the top of your shoulder until you run out of hose. It is important to note that the officer still can peel off and complete their 360 as their shoulder load runs out. Now the nozzle firefighter will let hose off the top of their shoulder until they reach the deployment site. From this point, flake the line as appropriate and call for water. The pump discharge pressure for this line is 187 psi, 112 psi for the 7 sections of hose, plus 75 psi for the nozzle. Thank you for your time.